Listen.
If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is, and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Now sometimes people say, well, you mean everything that I understand will confuse me if I don't understand racism? Yes, because racism is the dominant political and religious motivating force among the people of the planet in all 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. That covers just about everything that any person, minute by minute, might be doing or engaged in any time of day or night, anywhere on the planet. Homeboy comes by in his car and they say, hey man, get in. Let's go somewhere. Go somewhere and do what? Remember what I said earlier. All problems are solved through the process of questions and answers. So you ask that question. Go somewhere and do what? Well, we're just chilling, man. Okay, it's 6 of you all in a car. 4 of you got guns. You want me to get in the car to go somewhere and chill. Well, this, fellas, your buddies of mine, does not look like it may have a constructive result. This looks like some type of recipe for everybody, meaning basically us, all of us, feeling sorry for what's going to happen if I go somewhere in this car with you. So, I tell you what, we're still buddies, but call me tomorrow after all this is over, if you all are still around. I'll see you. Now, they will argue. They will say, oh, man, you too square, you too uptight, you this, that. No. I have to have a prescription that sounds like it's going to be constructive, fellas. It has to at least sound like it's going to be constructive. It doesn't sound like it's going to, be anything constructive. It sounds like something I might be sorry about, and I won't have nobody to talk to about being sorry, And if I do talk to you all about it being sorry, you all will be in a sorry situation, I think. I don't think you're going to be in a real happy situation. So, I'll talk to you later. It's not that I'm breaking off with you or anything like that. I'll just talk to you later. Now, the reason I say all of this and I laid out that type of scenario, I've seen that happen. I've seen somebody actually do that. And the person that didn't go was the person that all the rest of the people who was in that car were trying to get in contact with after everything that happened. Trying to get that one person that didn't go to come and help them. Why? Because that's the person that didn't go and got involved in the mess. That's why. See, it's one of the best things you can say when it looks like you're headed for trouble, or people that you're around are headed for trouble. You want to be able to say, I wasn't in that because I wasn't there. That's one of the best things you can say on a stand in a court. When you are asked, well, then what did you do? And you say, I didn't do anything because I wasn't there. I was not present at the scene of all those things that happened. I was not present. Oh, then most likely the judge say, you weren't there? You weren't present? Say, no, Your Honor, I was not present. And the judge say, well, what are you doing in here? Say, that's what I'd like to know, Your Honor. Say, you're dismissed. You weren't there. Don't be where there's likely to be some non-constructive activity going on. That's a part of the code. Always be the person that leaves early before the mess begins. Always. That's code. If you do not understand white supremacy, which is racism, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Only confuse you. Only confuse you. But you see them walking down, picking up the sidewalk, acting like they can whip everybody. Sure, they can whip somebody who looks just like them, because that's permitted. Permitted by whom? The white supremacists. They don't care. Kill everybody in the neighborhood. So what? There's another black neighborhood gone. There's another one down the street, ready to go. What's the big deal? You better be careful about whose space you get into when you get carried away with what you can do to other black people. And what's pitiful about it is most of us know that. Very few of us don't know that. We know whose space to get into. And we know just about how much backing we have.
Shame. Shame.
Black person in handcuffs. All kinds of tattoos. All kinds of long record for being able to whip everybody since 9th grade. Standing there in handcuffs in an orange jumpsuit in his best hairdo saying, "Yes, Your Honor." Why don't you use the kind of language toward Your Honor that you use with the people that you encounter right there in your neighborhood? The one that you say that you're a master over. The one that you can terrorize. All the females flocking to you and halfway scared of you. Knock them around all over the place. Call them all kind of names. Why don't you call Your Honor that same name? Snatch him from behind the bench. No. See, we're great show people. Greatest show people on earth. 3 9mm, one in your sock, one in your waistband, one in your side pocket. Ready to take on the entire world in a movie. In a homemade video. Or passing a bus stop full of black people fixing to go to work. Or you can terrorize them. Why don't you take on the champ? Which usually is just 1 or 2 white supremacists who just come and say, "Now, I think you'd better behave because you're disturbing my peace. Now, if you don't think I can handle you, try me." And I haven't been on this planet forever, but I've never seen a situation on a large scale, or never heard of one on a large scale, of any significance throughout the history of the black male, because that's who I'm talking about, who didn't chicken out in a moment of real crisis. So I don't want to hear it in this stalwart Black History Month about that all-powerful black male. Because I've seen our record, particularly in the last, I'll say, just in this area of the world, 60 years. And we've had a few who did things the way that they ought to be done. They protested in the street. They carried signs. They talked about non-justice. Martin Luther King, people like that. Fannie Lou Hamer, as a black female, backing up black males who got out there and tried to do something that made sense, rather than just terrorize the neighbors. And that's doing what we're supposed to do from the weak position that we have. Only time we show all this bravery is when we are mistreating other victims of racism. for the most part. Some exceptions. Nelson Mandela, exception. Martin Luther King, exception. Malcolm X, exception. A substantial list, but well-spaced. Well-spaced. All those black males in between, usually the ones who are doing hard time, if you look at what they're charged with, most of it is mistreating, whether they're guilty or not, but most of it is for mistreating other prisoners of war, the race war, people that look like themselves, can't stand themselves and want to kill everything that looks like them and laugh about it and call it an accomplishment. Now, I harp on this because this is one thing that should be real passe. As they say in the hip-hop culture, I think they call it whack. That's really whack. I think that's what they call it. Makes no sense at all, and has been embraced in every generation. Didn't just start. As far back as I can remember. Black male carrying the Saturday night razor. I'm going to cut me somebody before the night's over. Oh, yeah. Who are you going to cut? Who are you going to cut, Jimmy? Who are you going to cut, Mac? Well, I'm going over to the dance hall. Who's in the dance hall, Mac? I'm going to cut me somebody who breaks bad over at the dance hall. Who is it that's going to break bad in the dance hall, Mac? Somebody that looks like me. Somebody I probably went to school with before I dropped out, and they dropped out. So we meet up 18 years later, and we slash each other to death in the alley. And that's supposed to be a big deal and the purpose for being on the planet. Now, there are millions of black people who think just like that. And they are not all just in this area of the world. They are south of here, in places like Brazil. They look forward to that kind of foolishness. It's an old black tradition while we're talking about black history. That's a huge part of black culture. It needs to stop, and it needs to stop as of tonight. We need to do some thinking and then say enough of that. Been there, done that. Forget it. No more gang tattoos. I mean, who are we fooling? Who can we really whip? A very limited number of people. And certainly nobody who is smarter and more powerful than we are, particularly somebody who is really an army. A system of white supremacy. You know anything about taking that on? No, nothing, zero. Better start tap dancing. Now, some people have said they've seen some cartoons of my work on the internet that have been presented, and that it pretty well embellishes what I have been trying to say in my textbooks. And to the extent that it does that, well, that has been, from what I understand, some people reported to me, a plus. Because they didn't understand what I had written very well, but when they saw those cartoons that just repeated what I was saying and attaching my name to it, and came right out of the book, the material did, they say that they better understood it. And I can understand that because people are kind of visual, particularly in the year 2021 now, more visual than ever.